Today, we're going to look at one of the most useful filmmaking strategies I've ever encountered.
Keep your eyes open.
It's a strategy that I first read about in Sidney Lumet's amazing book, Making Movies. Sidney Lumet calls it a lens plot. A lens plot is kind of like a style sheet for your shots and lighting. It's a way to make sure that your shots all serve your story as a whole. Many filmmakers take a moment-by-moment approach when creating a shot list. This line is dramatic, so let's cut to a close-up. This beat is funny, so let's keep the shot wide. This moment is energetic, so let's go handheld. The trouble is, all of this careful application of film grammar can amount to a whole lot of nothing. What we're going to look at is a strategy to help you make sure that your shot choices serve your overall story. So let's define exactly what we're creating here. There are three ways to approach the lens plot. There's the static lens plot, there's the narrative lens plot, and last, the elemental lens plot. So let's start with a static lens plot. This is the simplest lens plot, a set of requirements or parameters that apply to your entire film. And sometimes it's referred to as the look of a film. Wes Anderson, for example, has a specific look. Characters tend to be shot straight on or in perfect profile.
Congratulations, Mr. Gustave.
They're gonna fight me for the son of a bitch.
And there's a lot of symmetry in the framing. These rules are part of Anderson's static lens plot. They're consistent from one scene to the next.
Roosevelt, how's that lanyard coming?
Horrible.
There are lots of elements that you can consider when you develop your static lens plot. Things like aspect ratio, color palette. Will you limit your shooting to only certain lenses? But the key to selecting them is to make sure that they serve the story you're trying to tell. Here's an example. When Spielberg made Schindler's List, he made some critical, creative decisions. One of the subtle choices that most people don't notice is that Spielberg denied himself one of his favorite tools, the techno crane. There are no big crane shots in Schindler's List because it literally grounds the film in realism. Spielberg wanted to tell a story that felt grounded, visceral, and real. Large mechanical camera moves would have gotten in the way. It was a storytelling choice, not just an aesthetic one. The static lens plot is a great starting point, but there's more you can do. This brings us to the narrative lens plot. The key to the narrative lens plot is gradual change over time to reflect or support the narrative. My favorite example of this comes from Sidney Lumet's classic 12 Angry Men. Pretty much the entire film takes place in a jury room.
Say, we'd like to get started.
Lumet wanted to emphasize the growing sense of entrapment. So the earliest scenes in the film are shot with what he calls normal lenses, 28 to 40 millimeters. As the story progresses, he shifts gears and uses longer lenses, 50, 75, and eventually 100 millimeters. As your lenses get longer, the background appears to come closer and closer. The subtle effect over the course of an entire movie is that the walls seem to close in. The room seems to get smaller and smaller.
Well, what about all the other evidence? What about all that stuff?
That brings me to the final lens plot, the elemental lens plot, where you assign specific visual rules to individual elements, such as a character or a location. The clearest example I've seen is in Soderbergh's film Traffic, where a complicated story unfolds in 3 different places, with 3 sets of characters. To help us keep them all sorted out, Soderbergh gives each of the 3 locations its own unique look. This wasn't just a color grading decision. Different locations in the story were shot on different film stock to ensure that they would have a distinct look when the film was cut together. The elemental lens plot is really about making things clear, especially when you have similar characters, lots of locations, or a potentially complicated storyline. So, to figure out the look of your film, create a lens plot. Ask yourself if your film's look is static or if it evolves along with the story. Ask yourself if certain characters, locations, or even props should have their own looks. Jot down your notes and then connect it to your gear requirements. Once you do that, you're ready to turn your lens plot into a shot list. Be sure to check out Studio Binder for that. We have an entire shot listing solution where you can break down your shots with lens info, equipment specs to make sure you're well prepared for your production. When you're done, you can share your shot list with your team, so check it out. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. After you subscribe, don't forget to click the little bell icon to be notified when new videos are released. Thanks for watching, and if you're out there filming something, break a lens.